the physical question, and then there's the emotional question. How do you manage to show up at that flashpoint? And how do you show up at that flashpoint? Because those are two very important, to me, win-wins. Getting to that point is where they're ready, right? And there's a value there. They're overwhelmed and they need help, and you have the capacity. And then there's an emotional show up, which is a win-win because you're helping them solve a problem they're overwhelmed by. You're doing it in a way that brings them relief, and it brings you a win as well because it allows you to move your business forward. So both elements of that point, I think, are really important. So talk to both of those.
Okay, so let's let me do one at a time for my brain, right? The first one is, how do I find them? Or even better, you'll like this answer, everyone listening. How do they find me? Okay. So when you got into real estate, you thought you were getting into house buying. You really realized quickly you got into marketing business. We're all in the marketing business, right? We all that's right. The business we're in. And you're like, oh no, I'm in the marketing business.
Yeah.
Right. And so
marketing business. Your happens to be real estate. You had the widget you're selling happens to be real estate, but the business plan you're in is marketing, finding your clients so that they can bring you and purchase from you your business model, your service,
right,
your asset.
Whether we sell garden hoses or not, right? We would have to do that thing if we were in the garden hose business, but we're in real estate. And so for me, my pain point and kind of my history is when I've spent $30,000 a month on marketing to make my phone ring, right? And that the direct response marketing business, for all your hard work, you get to compete with everyone else. And so I'm always been a learner, or I like to look at things differently and go, I like almost like I've only had one bumper sticker in my whole life, and it was, we'll work for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's a play on we'll work for food. And the point is that I want to work hard. I want to know, I'm a fact finder. And I felt the pain of what that other business was. A crazy stat is, 90% of the people who do direct mail do one drop and they stop. And it's not because they made so much money that they retired and they're on the beach. It's because it didn't work the way they thought. And so we're in this marketing business. We do direct response. So like when you talking about Flashpoint and, if you do direct mail, does this sound familiar to anyone? I got a list. They're over the age of 65. They've lived there at least 20 years and they have equity. Right. We all mail to that list. There's a reason you're mailing it in the hopes that they're in that Flashpoint. And so the spray and pray model of direct mail, while tried and true, is still like, 0.5% still a decent open rate for direct mail. So let's flip all of that on its head and go, well, what's making them be at the Flashpoint? And so when we find out that mom is moving into senior living and you and I are both in a scramble, I'll keep going back to you and I, brother and sister, we both get online and we're starting to find out, and me and you are having these cussing and discussing our conversations, and we're making a really hard decision. And if you're like, it's emotional, it's such a drain. And so finding us daughter duties is hard because we're fragmented all over the country. So what I teach my students to do is find the stakeholders who are having the hard conversations with you and I at the moment. So daughter duty is the golden egg, but I teach how to build relationships with the golden goose. It's laying the egg. Why? Because that is my lead source now, and they're working with these families every single day. Write this down. It's $1 million sentence. Do you ever have a situation where they want to move mom in, but they can't until they get the house sold? It's usually met with a laugh because they're like, Phil, yeah, every single day, that's what we do. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, and I say, are you working with anyone that's going through that right now? And it's always, yes, I am. Or they say, I wish you would have met Fred from 2 weeks ago. He had a hell of a time getting his house sold. And so my point is that I'm teaching them to say, I fix a problem that senior living has, because they know, that they only live in senior living for on average about 28 months. What's stopping them from moving quicker is how they're going to pay for it. What do we do with the house and the stuff? And so I have taught the industry now. It's taken me 2 years to lay this foundation, but they now see us as part of the senior living sales process. Hey, here's Garden View. Here's all these amenities. I know you're probably thinking, what do I do with the house and the stuff? Here's mom's house. And let's talk about, now I'm going to get into your second part, the emotional. How do I meet them emotionally? Okay. I'm going to tell on our industry right now. Investors are known to take advantage of people, right? They have a bad reputation.
We do.
We love that word, I-word. We love it. We love entrepreneur and investor, right? We're probably all those things. I'm an investor and entrepreneur, so let me tell myself. Yep. Senior living, all they hear is dun dun. That's all they hear is shark. When you say I'm an investor, all they hear is shark. And then let's think about seniors for a second. Seniors are known for getting taken advantage of. Well, now, oh my gosh, I just built a business that pairs those two. So you just talked about the emotions, and why we're on this is that my life would be so much easier if I didn't have to care about which people got to work with these families. And I have to. And so my training is empathy training. And I want to say this very clearly. You can make $1 million if you're very transactional. There's a million ways to do real estate. Go do those things. But to do what we do here at Mom's House, you have to lead with love. We're in the hugs and kisses business. I think belly to belly is the way to do this. Even in the age of COVID, this is still a belly to belly hand holding. How can I help you hug business? I don't want to do this virtually. And that's why we work with the right investors nationwide that can lead with empathy. And if you do, Christina, the money is right there. There's a ton of money in real estate. No one's going to argue that, but it's how you get there. Not being transactional, but can you love them first, fix their problems? And then we all know that there's money in real estate. That's why we're listening right now.